Rina Yang, you're the cinematographer for Nanny, about a Senegalese immigrant who experiences disturbing visions after she's hired as a nanny for an affluent family. What were the initial conversations with writer-director Nikyatu Jusu like about shaping the particular look of this film?
It was a pretty casual meeting. When I first got the script, I mean, I'd been reading, many scripts at that point and wondering what I should shoot next. And it kind of immediately caught my attention, just because of the subject matter. It's something I could resonate with. And when I jumped, I was back in the pandemic world, so I was in London, and I got on the Zoom chat with Nikyatu, and then although virtual, we immediately kind of connected and we vibed, and so we straight after that, they asked me if I wanted to shoot the film, and then I was like, yeah, of course, I love Nikyatu seemed like a great director, and I'd watched her film Suicide by Sunlight, and I thought that and other shorts that she directed and also shot, I thought that she's such a talented director with great visual. So I think that was like maybe a couple of years ago when we first connected. I think the initial conversation was we didn't have in-depth conversation until I was able to be on the ground in New York, because I was remotely prepping then. So it started a bit more logistical chats because I knew that they were already scouting locations, and then just because of the budget constraints of shooting in New York, and I wanted to make sure that the location selection was something that's manageable. So I think a lot of our conversations were kind of sending each other the location favorites back and forth, and kind of figuring out from that. And then once I landed in New York, and it was pretty fast and furious prep time, which is, I think I had maybe just 4 or 5 weeks to prep this movie on the ground. So I think we had to do a lot of logistical prep on tech scout, and then only towards the end of the prep that we were able to start shortlisting and sort of creative. But it helped at that point because we had most of the locations locked, and we could visualize how we wanted to shoot the film.
And what kind of techniques or visual style or lighting did you want to use to generate the dread in this film? Because there's this intense, really effective sense of dread.
I think we were, although both Nikyatu and I think that it's not really a horror movie, and we didn't feel like we were making a horror movie. It's more the thriller and the drama with the twist of genre. So but we were aware that we are making a genre movie, and then when it calls for the genre moments that we called, so the little kind of suspense moment, the kind of creeping, and we did discuss, how we wanted that to develop going from the reality to hallucination to like horror moments. But I think it was pretty organic. We don't, both Nikyatu and I quite laid back, so we sort of go with the instinct and go with the flow, and I would suggest something like to her, and then she kind of she trusted me a lot in a way that she would let me do my things, and then only she when she didn't feel like it's not something she was looking for, then she would kind of chip in. But most of the time she was very really kind of trusting, and she would say it looks great, and I'll do something, and she'll tell me that she likes it, and I was like, great. So I think yeah.
And some of the sort of supernatural scenes involve a lot of water, shooting underwater. What are the challenges of that? Like, was that something you were used to?
Yeah, I mean, I've done a lot of underwater shoots on other short form, projects like commercials. I come from commercials and music video background, so I've shot like thousands of projects prior to embarking on this, on this film. But the challenges was that we had to turn the swimming pool that we were shooting the scene, just not the surreal scene, but the pre-underwater moment, and we had to turn it into the underwater tank and and they was underground in the university and also some logistical issues. But, and we had an extremely short amount of time to shoot the underwater sequence. And, anyone who's done underwater knows that, it goes very slowly and it's very challenging for the actors. So I think we only had like 1 or 2 takes per shot that you see in the film. So I think that was, the entire film production was a challenge. But I think it was one of the most challenging days for everyone who was on the shoot. Yeah.
And what was it like working with Anna Jope? Because her face, her form, are so pivotal to a lot of the striking images in the film.
Yeah, I mean, as you can see in the film, she carries the film. She's amazing. I mean, the funny anecdote, it's not funny, but a little anecdote is, I think first week or so, I didn't realize that she's got an American accent in real life, because she kept talking in the character accent, because the French English, and then at some point she broke out in like her normal accent. It's like, oh, so I didn't realize she was really in the character in the beginning. I guess, I mean, she's carrying a lot as a main character. She's in everything, and I guess the first week that she was really kind of on and off camera, she was in character. And as we went along, we all started to relax a little bit, and they realized that, oh, I didn't know that you actually have an American accent. But anyways, yeah, she was great. Yeah, we got on really well, and then it's been fun seeing her offset. We just did a bit of a press things in London, and it was nice to catch up with her.
And is there a particular scene or image from the film that you're especially proud of capturing, or that maybe presented challenges, or that you think is especially striking?
I like the driving sequence I did with Sinqua. It's one of the scenes where they go on a date. It was me kind of shoved into backseat with a little camera, and we were just driving around in loops. But it was really simply done. That the whole film is pretty simply done. But I liked that moment, that montage sequence where, I don't know, yeah, they're getting closer, and driving through New York. And also, I think the conversation between them when they come out of the subway, and then when he asks Anna about her background, and just a little banter they have, I really like that scene.
And you mentioned working in music videos and short films throughout your career. What are the biggest differences between those sorts of jobs and a feature film?
I think, commercials, obviously we're trying to sell something, and the audience is whatever. And then I think, music videos, there's already a fan base, and, it will be watched by fans, or, maybe, I don't know, it might trend somewhere and people would watch it. But I think, I always think that the making of film is such a miracle, like from the development phase to getting green light to actually making it. And then even if you made it, it might get canned and people might not see it. And even if it, if it's out there, people might not see it at all, So it's been great to see that the film's been touring around the world and getting some traction, and people are actually seeing the film. And to be very honest with you, like me and Nikyatu didn't expect this much. Kind of we were making an indie movie, and then you don't expect people to it's great that people can see it, and especially if it's going to be on VOD. But I think it's just kind of yeah, the difference between making short form and then features is you need a lot more miracles, I think, to reach the audience. I think.
Well, I want to congratulate you on the film and look forward to it reaching audiences, because I think it very much will. And thank you so much for talking with me about it.
Nice one. Thank you.